Final segment of ATL Day Ones with Jarvis and Tenitra. We want to say thank you for rocking with us throughout the entire show. We really appreciate you guys are pushing us to 4,000 subscribers. Yes, I said you because it's all about you. We appreciate you guys for liking and subscribing to our YouTube channel. And also, you've been dropping those 5-star reviews wherever you download your podcast as well. We appreciate that because that helps spread the word about this greatness that we have going on right here on ATL Day Ones. But this is for the culture. It is the intersection between sports, entertainment, and the culture. And sometimes, whatever the hell we want to talk about. That's just how we get down on this show. Now, like, you have been a big, huge proponent for Onyeka Okongwu. And I think that, the AJC understands that and realize that. And that's why I want to bring it up, because I think that, sometimes when we start talking about, the Hawks and what they and as far as what they can be as far as contenders in the Eastern Conference, we kind of forget about Double O. And I think that we need to understand that this dude absolutely had a really good season last year. And I think that he is mature enough and understands that, hey, yeah, I did my thing last year, but I know I need to get better. And I think that Travis Schlenk started off with like, hey, man, we need you to rebound the basketball a little bit more. Do you, what are your expectations for Onyeka Okongwu coming into this season?
Yeah, so that first season, we kind of saw shades of what he could do, right?
Right,
And
yeah.
it was like, okay, just expand that on the defensive side of the ball. So to your point, he was really that go-to guy between at the end of his first season, to be honest with you. He used to give some folks some fits,
Right.
as we saw in that playoff run, right? The postseason run. And then in the second season, you kind of saw him evolve, right? Kind of not just being that player who was guarding inside, but somebody who was comfortable at least going out and contesting a mid-range jumper here and there, but certainly still the guy who could play the 4 and play the 5 and give a big man some fits. But you also really only saw Double O kind of stay under the basket making shots. So at some point, to be a real threat, you've got to also stretch the floor offensively. So he has been working diligently on his jump shot. He's been posting to social media just to kind of get fans excited about that, to let them know rather, that he is not resting on his laurels. And I really love to see it, because that's something that honestly, I don't know how much he's worked on it necessarily, but even Clint Capella, he's got to, he added a little bit, but he's got to add some more to his range, because you and I talked about the fact that it's exciting what we're going to see with Trey and DeJounte. We already know the backcourt, hey, it's a good look. And we believe that if Dre Hunter is healthy, he's going to be a good look, as well as JC. But when we went down that road, I was like, oh my. But we didn't even get to Double O.
Right.
And
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, because that is really when you start talking about the depth, right? At each
Yeah.
position, it's not just about having players or having a guy. No, we need the guy. That guy who, if you put him in the starting rotation, you don't have much of a slip off or a fall off. And I do
Right.
believe that as O is putting a little bit more in the toolbox, he's going to be that guy.
Yeah, he's going to have to be that guy because of the expectations that he has, not only from us, and wanting to see that development in a Travis Schlenk NBA draft pick, but it's coming from within as well. I know Nate McMillan is raising his expectations. Travis Schlenk
Mhm.
talked about the expectations that he set for him, and I think that in today's game, though, to your point, when you think about positionless basketball, you have to be able to stretch out from offensively and defensively. Like you talk about him being able to guard on the perimeter, and with so many teams basically switching nowadays, and that's the
Mhm.
new thing. And like Onyeka is going to have to be able to hold it down if he ends up being on a 2 guard,
Mhm.
and be able to hold his own, for as long as the defense can permit.
Right.
So I think that that's something that we're gonna have to definitely keep an eye out on, and it's really interesting because like it didn't look good when Onyeka Okongwu, like you said, there were flashes, but there was some really, it was some lows. There were some lows. Let me say it like that. I'm not gonna go bash him too. I'm not gonna go in like that. But there were some times where you're like, man, why did they draft this dude? And then as time went along, because we're not patient today in
No.
today's society.
Yes, and Atlanta fans have PTSD, so they'll go down the rabbit hole really fast. Like, see,
Yes,
I knew
Lord.
it.
Yeah, he was a bust. I told you. I was like, it's only the 5th game of his rookie year. Calm down. So, but definitely, we understand what it is for Onyeka Okongwu to have an effect on his team, and that everybody is going to be counting on him in order for the Hawks. If they want to become contenders in the Eastern Conference, he's definitely going to have to raise his game up. Speaking of a guy who has raised his game up, a young player, and Michael Harris, who's from Decatur, by the way. I just found that out.
Cater wears greater.
He's from the deck, so he all right with me.
Right.
Now he for those who don't know, if you've been hiding under a rock, he played in AA in Mississippi. Now there's a connection there for him. His father played at Alcorn State. HBCU stand up, doing his thing. That's in Mississippi as well. And he got word of what's going on down in Jackson, Mississippi, as far as the water, people not being able to, if they have running water, they have to boil it and everything. Like, it's just a lot going on down in the city. So he took it upon himself to, it was about $23,000. He dropped that on them and said, hey, put it to good use. And I think that when you think about who he is as a player, Michael Harris, that is, like, I'm not surprised. I don't know about you, but I am not surprised at all that, he's doing this and reaching back out to, the community that, basically raised him, because he looks at it like a second home as well.
Yes, and I got two things for you. Our HBCU family will drag us if we do not say Alcorn, because they come for you. Oh,
Sorry,
yes, they do.
my bad.
Yes. So
Only
Alcorn
one
family,
L though.
anything. We love you, Alcorn. We do. So I had to just go with that one. And number two, shout out to Dad for, as the HBCU alum, but Mama is too, Tuskegee grad, and he gets his giving. Get it from his mama, because she's a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated.
There
And
we
giving
go.
back is
That's 2
just
days in a
an
row,
idea. I just had to. I couldn't help it. I had to. Okay, so now that we have that out of the way, but real talk, you're absolutely right. He has been raised to have a desire to give back. And so if we're being honest about it, that's mom, that's dad, and that's all of that connectivity. And then looking at something, I say this all the time, if you want to see service on a consistent level, you have got to give in a space and place that means something to you, right? And so that area has meaning to him. Obviously, number 23, giving back almost 23 grand. I appreciate it. And then the other thing is this, you alluded to this. It's great to give water. And of course, I know our churches are very much involved in that process, sending trailers of water down there. But some of the water issues have been addressed in terms of the upfront, right? But being a New Orleans native and growing up having, seen the ravages of a Katrina or an Ida, those natural catastrophes, if you will, it's the aftermath. It's some of the things that people don't think about. So the fact that maybe your refrigerator, because once you vacated your house because of the water situation, maybe you didn't think about leaving the AC low or doing whatever you needed to do with your utilities. You know what that means? All the food in your refrigerator is gone. Anything that might have been made with that water before you knew it was contaminated, can't use it. So when it's money that's put up outside of just water, if you will, that's what I love about this, because those individuals who are affected in that area, they're going to need the water, but they're also going to need monetary resources. So shout out for him for also thinking of the nuances that are the aftermath of once you actually get the water, how we're going to have the necessary financial resources to be able to do what we need to do. So MH2, you the MVP.
Man, standing as a wise philosopher by the name of Jeezy once said, standing ovation, my friend. Appreciate you for reaching back and doing your thing. But before we get out of here, T, I gotta bring this up. Like, we've been getting a lot of good comments about the survey, the poll that I talked about earlier, about as far as how the Falcons going to win, who's going to be the MVP of that particular game. There was one comment that just really stood out to me. And it's from our guy Slim Pickens. Like that name, has a nice little ring to it. He said, "Good question." And you know what? To be honest with you, that is the perfect comment, because there are a lot of questions about the Falcons coming into this season, and we've talked about at length about what those look like and can they answer them. But I think that, hey, Slim Pickens, man, appreciate you. You are our ATL Day One's comment of the week.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for stopping by, Slim, stopping by our page on YouTube. Always appreciate that. And thank you guys for always joining us. We cannot wait to see your comments. Don't wait until Monday, in fact. Give us some post game comments after Sunday. Give us your reaction, and we'll talk about that on our Monday Overreaction Monday show about
Yes, a
Falcons.
lot of overreaction. Can't wait.
Because you know it's going to be that way. And then, of
Yes.
course, we're going to download on Braves, hopefully downloading on a winning series and anything and everything else that happens on this Atlanta sports team. And hey, Jarvis and I are going to be out there Sunday, out and about. So look for your girl, look for your boy, because we definitely want to say what's up to you. So enjoy the ATL streets. Is going to be deep out there with Saints, folks, because I know all my people are coming through. So enjoy it. Dirty Birds, who that's, get it in and have a great weekend.
Y'all come back now, you hear?